Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege as superintendent to welcome you to this year's Ridgewood High School Open House. We hope you'll take this opportunity to meet and talk.
When you pick up the phone and get the police,
or you get a letter from your favorite niece,
or census checks, population increase.
yes, that's public service. When you get all the facts about aspirin,
Or the new bus service is about to begin, or Internal Revenue calls you in.
yes, that's public service.
We're here because you need what we do. We're here to provide that service for you.
Just for you.
For you. When you get a license to sell wine and beer, or want to herd a box walk in the air.
Or you get free help with a new career.
Yes, that's public service. When you climb in a jet, take a safe flight,
Or the book you wrote is a copyright.
or farmers get help in fighting the blight.
Yes,
That's public service. We're here because you need what we do.
we're here to provide that service for you.
That's for you. That's for you.
Yes, we may even have a shopping too.
Yes, that's public service.
Yes, that's public service.
Yes, that's public service.
Yes, that's public service.
We do it for you.
Hello, welcome to You in Public Service. We hope you like the way we dressed our stage. Our staging, our dressing, our appearance was all designed to help make us look attractive to you. It was done with a lot of deliberate care to create an image, a specific look for us. Today, we're going to talk about a specific look for you as we deal with the subject of good grooming.
I'm your MC, Mike Zarkowski. Hey, did you get that? Huh? MC?
Words or authors use words to create round characters. As we get into the heroes of the story, it's not enough to deal with the idea that a given character is a policeman. If the policeman is to be a main character, we need to know perhaps some of his motivations for doing something. If we don't know his motivations or how he thinks, we're looking at someone just like you see right now, a flat character. Okay? If that flat character had a policeman's uniform on, that's all you would know is a flat character, a policeman. You can put a word to him, you can title him. But if he's to be a hero or a protagonist or a villain, an antagonist, if he's to be a major part of the character, we know some more things beside how he looks. We know that he has a lot of red in his face. He's very blushed. He's very active. He's very happy. We know that he might have a family. We know that he has a wanting or an attitude or a thinking that he wants to help everybody. We can see his behavior as one that's very friendly. We blow him up. In this particular case, you see a Napoleon character being blown up. The author is putting air into his balloon in the sense that the author is enlarging a given character. He's rounding out the character so you know something about how the character thinks and about how the character's elements come into play when we deal with the setting of a story. So using that as our crutch, when we get to question number 2, which is to describe the setting of this story, Appointment with Love, with reference to at least 4 different things, we're going to have to include some of the following. That we have Grand Central Station, that it's very busy. We'd be happy to talk about point of view specifically at another time. Thank you for your attention, and I hope that this particular quiz and coverage of the quiz has been somewhat helpful to you in your understanding of the short story. Thank you. Hi. What you just witnessed is what happens when people are not prepared to begin the videotape they're about to present. What we did was show you what happens when an individual is up, gets his cue from the cameraman to begin, misses the cue or doesn't understand it, has a camera facing him, does not look at the camera, does not attend to the camera, does not begin a videotape presentation correctly. What we're going to be doing in this particular videotape is to show you some of the rights and some of the wrongs of how to give a more effective presentation when you are being videotaped. We're starting with this premise, that you probably have never been videotaped and consequently don't have any idea what happens around you as you are attempting to speak to a camera. Keep in mind, when you're speaking to a camera, there's no people there to cue on. You have no idea who is looking away, who is looking to you, who is paying attention to you, who is not. You have to assume that all of that is happening. You have a couple of responsibilities when you're going to present a videotape. Number one, you need to know what it is that you are going to say, because there is an audio track. And secondly, and perhaps more important, is that most people are visually oriented, which is to say they will be looking at what you're doing constantly. If you are standing, as I have been standing for just a few moments, and nothing else is going on except one camera looking at you, the picture itself can become rather stale. After a while, just looking at a person becomes boring. You've seen this on the evening news shows, for example, when they have co-anchormen and a weatherman and a sportsman and whatnot, and they have several cameras focusing back and forth to different people doing different things, and you might have an individual looking at one camera, and then you see him look, one of these guys, and then you see another camera angle, and he's now adjusted his the focus of his face and his body to face another camera. All these kinds of things are going on, and you are going to have the experience of finding out what it's like to have all these things happen and being videotaped. Some background. Before you even come in to the studio to be videotaped, you must be conscious of three things: how you're dressed or how you wish to appear, the information you're going to present, and anything beside the talking you'd like to add to your presentation, for example, a graphic or whatnot. Dealing first with dress. Notice, I am wearing white. I'm doing this deliberately to suggest to you the difficulty of wearing white, okay? It tends to spread your body, make it much larger. And of course, some of us don't need to be any larger than we already are. Secondly, it gives you a white wash in the center because it is the absence of any of the grays that black and white TV provide. So, if you are going to be videotaped, there's a good idea to wear a darker color. And you'll notice very graphically here in a moment the very distinct difference between the dark and the white colors. Okay? You can do different kinds of things with it. You can set your body different ways. This particular edging on my collar is a dark green. There's another edging here that is a gray. My shirt is white. This sweater is kind of a gray sweater. Notice up here in the collar area, there's no real differentiation in color. Therefore, if you were to come in let's say a brown and blue outfit, it is likely that unless there were a strong, very strong difference in the tone of the color, one being very dark and the other very light, it might even appear as the same color. Whether you button or unbutton, anything you do according to your attire shows very graphically. Okay? It is much better to wear a darker kind of clothing for two reasons. Number one, it helps lift the viewer to what is whitest on the screen, which principally is your face. Okay? And secondly, it doesn't offer that big white slot right down the center of the screen to distract in some way. Okay? Second, information. Many of you will want to bring some information with you, a crutch, an outline, some notes, what have you. If you bring your information on paper, just ordinary, loose leaf notebook paper, as you are using this paper and shuffling it, notice how much room it takes in front of you. Also notice the sound it makes. The microphone is actually picking up the noise of the paper moving. A much more effective way to bring information with you is on little index cards. Notice they're very small. They can be used very readily. They fit in your hand. You can take a quick note and look away.